feel like this is just going to be a vlog of Erica not being able to summarize books at all, like, at all. Because I'm not good with the summaries. Well, hey there, reader friends! I'm Erica, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm doing something I never thought I would do. I'm doing a book haul, guys. I have to confess, I think I've only watched like 2 or 3 book hauls in the entire time I've been watching BookTube, so I don't know if I'm even going to be doing this right, but I thought I would share the books that I bought a couple days ago. I was going to go shopping for clothes. That was frustrating, so I bought books instead. That was less frustrating and filled me with joy and happiness. So let's go ahead and talk about the books that I purchased. Now, it'll come as no surprise to anybody that I did purchase Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. It's a signed copy, which I'll take that sticker off eventually. I'll take it off. I am really excited to read this book, as I said before, because of the discussion of mental health that I am anticipating. I'm one of those people where, like, I don't tend to like to read too much of the summaries about books before I read them. I like to kind of just discover it naturally. But I did read the inside of the book jacket, and there's this paragraph, and it talks about the main character, who, I don't know if her name is Aza, I don't know, but it says she is trying to be a good daughter, a good friend, a good student, and maybe even a good detective, while also living within the ever-tightening spiral of her own thoughts. Which I thought was an amazing way to talk about people that struggle with mental illness, because it is like your brain's constricting on you, and it hurts, and it's not fun. So that just made me a lot more excited for this book. I can't wait to start it, guys. The next book I purchased, which will come as no surprise to anybody, is the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's beautiful, guys. I mean, I still don't know how I feel about the cover, but I mean, this book it's really heavy for one thing. Like, it's really, really heavy. I don't know what they're going to do with the next one, how they're going to do this. If they're going to have to do multiple volumes, which I hope not, because that would be a pain having to wait years between volumes of the same book, but I don't know how you physically could publish an illustrated edition of some of the books that are coming our way. I must confess that when I purchase these, I do just go through and look at all the illustrations before even rereading the book at all. And so I did that with this one, and I like the illustrations overall. I particularly like how Harry and Ron and Hermione, but particularly Harry and Ron, look like teenagers, whereas in the earlier ones that are back there, those earlier ones, they look like children. They're looking like teenagers in here, so that's exciting to see. I also think Jim Kay is overall much better at doing ambiance type illustrations, backgrounds, supplementary illustrations, rather than illustrating what exactly is happening in the story. He doesn't seem to do that as much. I also feel like there are fewer illustrations in this book than there have been in the other two. I don't know, but I still really think it's worth purchasing. I mean, obviously, I'm a Harry Potter nerd. I gotta have it. I had to have it. So now I have it. Yay! Moving on to the books that I purchased that were not, like, on my going to purchase list. I purchased quite a few fantasy books, although I don't know if 2 of these are fantasy because I haven't read them, but I feel like they're fantasy-ish. I purchased Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting Prince Dracula, which I'm kind of annoyed that I got one in paperback and one in hardback, but that's what you do when it's a new book. They don't have it in paperback yet. I'm just gonna dance with my books, I guess. These are by Carrie Maniscalco? How do you say your name, Carrie? Let me know. I have to confess, I actually wasn't interested in reading these books at all when they came out. They've been like on the suggested for you on Amazon for me forever, and I've just been like, not interested. But then I've listened to a lot of booktubers talk about them, particularly Amanda over at A Court of Books and Love, and I thought, you know, they do seem really interesting, and this paperback one wasn't too pricey. And then I read the summary for this one, and I was like, oh, Dracula, vampires, also Romania, also forensic school, Victorian time. Okay, I want this. I'm in it. I'm on the train. Let me read it. So I bought them both. Oh well. The next book I purchased was On an End Cap, recommended by staff at my local Barnes & Noble. And I've been curious about this book, this author, this series for a long time, and I thought, you know what, it's a paperback, it's not too pricey, I'm gonna spend money today anyways, so I got V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. This is an adult fantasy series, and in this world there are parallel Londons, and each London has different attributes, and one person jumps between Londons, and hijinks ensue. I'm not exactly sure what the main conflict of this story is, but the premise in and of itself is extremely interesting, and lots of booktubers I follow, like I said, really like this series. So yeah, I'm going to try it out. I hope I like it. I think I will. will. Now, the next book, if you saw my September wrap-up, I'm giving somebody a second chance. Somebody who did me wrong. Completely and totally did me wrong last month in September. I bought The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo, this is your chance. This is your chance after Wonder Woman. This is your chance. I'm hoping that because this is a collection of stories within the world that she's created, her Grishaverse, that they will be much more enjoyable, much more interesting, and just not disappointment. No disappointment for me, please. I cannot handle being disappointed again. I'm sure you've seen all the booktubers fangirling, fanboying about this cover and the book itself and the way it's designed. The texture for this cover is amazing. First of all, it's iridescent, and this turquoisey blue color is embossed. It's higher, and like I said before, I love me texture on my covers. I love it so much. And the cover is actually kind of canvas. It doesn't feel like paper. It feels like very, very thick paper or canvas. It's really beautiful. And then if you open it up inside, now I don't have a signed edition, but look at that! Look at that blue! Oh! It's gorgeous. And then inside, illuminations. And the text is different guys, more blue. I love blue. I just can't. And then I looked in the back. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know where it went. Oh, mermaids. I saw that and I was like, that's it. I'm buying the book. Leigh Bardugo, I am giving you another chance. You're getting my money and I don't buy things. You should appreciate this. I'm pretty excited to see what this book is all about. Now, the Final Fantasy book I purchased, I first was exposed to by Hank Green on Vlogbrothers. He was talking about it, and he was holding up this really thick, tiny paperback. And then I saw that the illustrated 10th anniversary edition came out, and I saw that it had this business. Look at that red. Look at the red. It's actually bright, bright red. It looks kind of pinkish with the lighting I have, but it's really red. Yeah, it is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I don't know much about the plot. Actually don't know anything about the plot. But when I was reading the summary, I couldn't pronounce the names. And inside there are maps, 2 of my requirements. And then on the back, it has this spiel by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And basically he ends this whole spiel by saying, read this book. Okay, Lin-Manuel, I trust you. I'm going to read the book. Getting away from fantasy, I did buy one middle grade text that's a contemporary. I bought Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Again, with the names. I should know how to say them, but of course I struggle. This is the movie tie-in edition. I really like this, actually. The color scheme, the blue, the yellow. Also, the book itself, if you can tell, it's bright yellow. It follows Augie, our main character, who's a young boy who has a facial disability. His face is, I don't want to say disformed, because that's pretty negative, but it's different. I think the story follows him going to school for the first time, like mainstream public school for the first time. I don't know much about it beyond that, but I've seen the preview for the movie and I was really moved and I want to see the movie, but I also really want to read the book before I see the movie, so I bought the book and I've been wanting to read it for a long time, and it's a nice little middle grade-y contemporary novel that I think will help me break up some of the epic fantasy-ness. The final book I purchased has been on my TBR forever, and I did check it out from the library, and then I was like, there's no way I'll read this before it's due, like the whole thing. And then I also was like, I want to write in the book. I got Ron Chernow's Alexander Hamilton biography. We all know about this. We all know that this is the book that inspired Hamilton the musical. We all know that it's like really dense and really thick, but apparently really readable. I mean, I read the first chapter and I enjoyed it. You know how we have occasionally those intimidating TBRs? This would probably be on that list because, woof, look at that. Holy jeez. Goodness. Oh! Illustrations. I like it. I like portraiture. Look at him. He looks very, very, ha ha ha, look at me. Ha ha ha. Oh, Alexander Hamilton. Also, I like how now anytime I say it, I have to say it in the meter from the show. That's what happens. Thanks, Lin-Manuel. So, those are all the books I bought this week. I think, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which I understand if you compare it to everyone else's book hauls, that's not that many books. But for me, that is quite a haul, because I don't purchase things hardly ever. Have you purchased any books this month? Have you purchased any of the books on my book haul here? Have you read any of the books? Let me know down below what you think, or if you have any other comments. And thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye! Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Azkaban? 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 That's not even how you say it, guys.